Play 5 radios at once. Look out the window for a really long time. Don't talk for the whole day. Learn a new scale. Write as few lyrics as possible. What do these mean? Well, I'm about to tell you.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All the girls, all the girls, all the girls, nah, nah, nah. All the girls, all the girls, all the girls, nah, nah, nah.
Yes, Sirski. It's Goody in a hoodie like A Boogie. I'm back and I'm barely Bryson Taylor with another video. It's your boy Tresor. Don't chase me. Chase your dreams. And now today, informational trades back in the building. You know, me helping you guys, doing the work so you guys don't have to. Play 5 radios at once. Look out the window for a really long time. Don't talk for the whole day. Learn a new scale. Write as few lyrics as possible. What do these mean? Well, I'm about to tell you, because I know I probably just sounded like I had Tourette's and I was just saying a bunch of random things. No, there's a purpose. As an artist, a producer, or a songwriter, the act of songwriting is actually very important. Obviously, you would think so. But before some people try to say, oh no, music of today has no lyrical substance, songwriting doesn't matter. Even mumble rap, coming up with that, it matters. So technically that's songwriting. And any tips you could use to make that process easier and faster are very helpful. A lot of them are very vague, like just look at life for inspiration. Nah, we're not doing that today, okay? These tips are supposed to be special, ones that focus on the idea, expand your brain, helps you to experiment. These are 13 ridiculous songwriting tips that actually work. Before the video starts, make sure you subscribe. Let's go. All right, so I was just scrolling across the internet like I usually do. Came across this article and I thought I'd share it with you guys because it was kind of interesting to me. It's from Lander. If you don't know what Lander is, it's like a mastering service. Completely not sponsored, but Lander, if you want to hit me up, then hey, we can talk some money. Like I said before, informational trade just wants to help you guys. Tip number 1 is play 5 radios at once. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I heard this, I was like, what are you talking about? Why would I do that? It's gonna sound like Times Square. Obviously, you probably want to do this like when you're alone or like keep the volume down because people are gonna look at you like you're a weirdo. But apparently songwriters do this. They turn a couple radios on and listen to some of the overlaps. They said you'll find interesting progressions and melodies. Think of it like ear sampling. You're basically leaving stuff up to random for your brain to pick up certain things and be like, oh, this is kind of hard. Because it's almost the same, like you guys know when you're out and you just hear something, like whether it's a word or a melody or it's the TV, the way that someone said something, you're like, whoa, nah, that's fire. It's the same thing. Like whatever your ear takes to, just remember that and then try to write it down or do a voice note or something. Because realistically, there is a lot that people have not used, like hella melodies and hella music and stuff. I heard something crazy like 80% of all the music that was on vinyl has not been digital. So even if you get a bunch of just records from somewhere, I don't know where you're gonna play them because nobody has a record player anymore, and just play them joints, you can get hella melodies, bro. Tip number 2 is look out the window for a really long time. They're saying it doesn't even necessarily need to be a window. It could be like an aquarium or just something that you could stare at for a while. I think the window makes sense because these days you have to take yourself out of the distractions like your phone, your computer, whatever, and just find some silent time to really focus. And once you can really channel in, you'll get in a good space to start writing songs. But I also think this could work as a form of inspiration. Like looking out the window, you're just gonna be bound to see things and something may catch your attention. It may not, but it may. Try it. Just spend like 5 minutes just looking out the window and see if anything that's happening outside catches your attention, sparks an idea for something. Because all it takes is one thing. You can see a cat crossing the street and that could inspire a certain lyric that makes biggest banger in the world. You never know. Bro, why does my head look like this? I'm sorry, y'all. I was just taking a nap. I look crazy right now. Number 3, don't talk for the entire day. Just listen. Now, I know this might be hard for some of y'all because y'all love to run your mouths. I don't think it necessarily has to be a whole day, but just take some time, even if it's like an hour, and just don't speak. And just listen, observe. I don't know if y'all realize it, but just talking takes a lot of brain power. And if your brain doesn't have to focus on making words come out of your mouth, it can focus on other things. And sometimes people don't like silence because it makes them think of things they don't want to think about. But in this case, you guys are going to use that to think about things that you would never usually think about. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about things that you don't want to think about, like when you got chased by a chihuahua when you're 7, and now you're deathly afraid of dogs. I'm talking about things that you wouldn't normally think about. Like in my brain, I could just be like, yo, why did they make this H2O bottle like this? And then, oh, H2O, that could be a good name for the song. And now I start thinking of something, and I would have never thought about that if I was just randomly going about my day. Number 4 is set a crazy time limit. Interesting fact, Diamonds by Rihanna, the banger, one of the biggest Rihanna bangers, was written. What is written? Diamonds was written by Sia in like 14 minutes. She just put on the beat and it flowed, and that joint is 5 times platinum. So everything doesn't have to be a 6-hour like brain rattling thing. Sometimes you need to just push yourself and see what comes out naturally. Because when you think too hard, I know everyone's had those times when it's like you're overthinking. And that's why some of the mumble rap stuff works, because they're not overthinking. Mans are going into the booth, putting on the headphones, and they come out and they're like, yo, you know what? This actually sounds good. And that's all they need, as opposed to you taking 9 hours to write one verse of a song. It's not efficient. You have to work smarter, not harder. Time is a hard thing to balance. Too much time and you end up second guessing everything, and too little time you might not get it done. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube, I've even done them, making a song in 24 hours, but that's pretty easy to me. I've done making a song in 1 hour. There's people that have done making a song in 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's to push your creative flow. Next is open your piano roll, grab the pen tool, and just scribble. I don't know about this one because I personally like to have a clear direction of where I'm going, but you might as well try it. If you're stuck, put in a bunch of different notes, listen, and then just start taking stuff out. Just start extracting, and you might come up with something that you never thought you would. After you play it back, like you can hear, even if it's like 1 chord or 2 seconds, that could inspire you, that these 2 notes hit together in a different way that you would have never thought of. That's all you need. Number 6, write as little lyrics as possible. Get to the point. In today's day and age, honestly, the industry is driven by melody. That's why it's really hard for a lot of the rapidy rappers to get on. And if they do get on, they still have to infuse it in a way that people want to listen. You can't just lyrical, miracle, spiritual people to death, because no one's trying to hear that anymore, unless it's like the very small niche of like hardcore rap fans. I've seen multiple interviews. Tory Lanez, even though we don't know what's going on with him right now, Tory Lanez said, yo, find 2 or 3 melodies, lay down the melodies first, and then fill in the words after. Lil Baby said the same thing. Once he gets the melodies, he'll fill in the words after, because it's about the vibe. A Boogie said the same thing. Roddy Ricch said the same thing, because people just want to feel. A lot of times people aren't even really listening to the lyrics. They just want to feel a vibe. And plus, the more simple something is, the easier it is to remember. The more wider variety of people that can sing it and remember it has a better chance of things going viral and getting on. For example, let's use Old Town Road. That's a very simple song. Kids like it. I got the horses in the back. If Lil Nas X, instead of saying I got the horses in the back, went into some long double entendre metaphor thing about horses, the song wouldn't be the same. My horseshoe circle like the horseshoe, sitting on the back with the strap in my lap with the... No, it wouldn't have worked. Simplicity is a skill that every artist and songwriter should master. That's what a lot of people are gonna tell you. Keep it simple. Even producers, keep the beat simple. When there's too much going on, how's an artist gonna put something up on it when there's no space? The best people in the whole industry can do a lot with the least amount. Number 7 is put a lid on it. They're saying that limitations can make you more creative because you have to just work with what you have. Like setting, okay, I'm only gonna use 5 instruments, and picking the 5 instruments and doing what you do with those. I don't know if I really agree with this one because it can kind of put you in a box. So I'm kind of on the fence with this one because I understand what they're saying, but like trying new things keeps you fresh. But I do understand how limiting yourself has to push your creativity, so it depends what you're trying to get. Number 8 is cut your lyrics into 1,000,000 pieces. An author named William Burroughs came up with this technique to help him while he was writing, but he wasn't a songwriter, he was an author. So the concept is basically just write out a bunch of words that are on your mind, cut them. In this day and age, we don't really need to cut them. Write down a bunch of words in your notepad and then rearrange them into ideas. But it doesn't even have to be words. It could be pictures, melodies, chords, whatever. But let's just say we're doing words and you're feeling upset one day and you write down mad, alone, cry, dark, anger, running away, tears, blue. You could cut that up and now expand on those ideas. Okay, who's running away? What's blue? Where are the tears coming from? Why is there tears? And that could give you ideas. That's actually really good. I'm gonna start doing that. I do that with song titles. I'll just write, whenever I see a name of something that could be a title for a song, I'll just write it down and then come to it after and then expand off of the idea of the title. David Bowie actually used this technique and he talked about it in a BBC interview a very long time ago. Y'all know that was a long time ago. Number 9 is set up a reward system. Reward yourself when you're finished. Maybe you can eat this food. I do that a lot. I'll be like, yo, I'm not eating until I'm done. This may not be the healthiest thing to do, but it gives you an incentive to get things finished. If there's something you want to buy, be like, yo, I need to write 10 songs before I buy this. It'll give you a milestone to work towards, and you can see yourself progressing to that goal. Number 10 is the Mozart effect. Should have been the Beethoven effect, because you know, us black brothers got to stick together. Apparently, listening to Mozart has been studied and proven to improve your focus. I can't say I've ever done this or tried it, but I'll try it. Who cares? It's said to affect your spatial temporal reasoning. I'm not about to get all sciencey on you guys. This is just what they said. Try it out if you want to try it. That's basically a fancy word for concentration. So if you listen to it, you should be able to concentrate better. Next is copy an entire song straight from your memory. Imagine what In My Feelings by Drake would sound like or even say if you tried to re-record it completely from your memory. It wouldn't sound exactly like how the song sounds, and that's the point. You're gonna say different things and come up with different concepts. It's gonna be in that same vein. You probably remember the chorus, but you're not gonna remember every single lyric that he said, and trying to fill that in with what you think he said could spark your own idea to flip that into your own song. Number 12 is use extended techniques. Now, apparently this is about playing your instrument the wrong way. The concept was developed in the 20th century to push composers to make stuff out of the boundaries of, you know, what they usually would do. This is just a very fancy way of saying try out of the ordinary things. And certain people, I could say like Lil Yachty is probably someone who did that, because when he came out, even though a lot of people didn't like it, it was unique. Blueface was one of those too. No one was rapping like him. Even Roddy Ricch, even though it's kind of a boogie-ish, but the way he goes about it is very, very unique. So just try different things and see what works. 13 is learn a new scale. This is more of like a music theory type of thing. I don't think this is necessary, but it couldn't hurt, because there's a bunch of scales: major, minor, and then third, diminished, pentatonic, whatever. And just learning the scale, or even just listening to it. I wouldn't even say learning it, listening to it. You could kind of put together a different melody that people don't usually use, because a lot of people just stick in the major and minor. If you go to sus2 or minor pentatonic or third diminished whatever and use that scale, you can make a completely different song than anything that anyone else has ever made. Because you know, you get stuck sometimes, guys. It happens to all of us. I think once you start practicing, over time, things become second nature to you. They become mad easier. I don't know if any of you guys watched Tory Lanez in the studio. He would do stuff on Instagram Live where he'd be in the studio and he would just have people suggesting names and words and stuff, and he would just go in the booth and rap it, and it would just sound fire automatically. I watched that and I was like, bro, how does he do this? It's because, bro, he's been in the gym. Like, he's not new to this. So he has a formula that works for him. I've seen Russ do it too. There's been a few people that do it. Kendrick will be at radio stations and just freestyle with words that people are giving him. Once you learn, you get better. Even at the simple stuff, there's an art to getting better at simple things. Take those into consideration. Comment down below which one of these you think would be the most effective, like which one you're gonna try right now. Go comment right now. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about. That's it for me. Stay safe, stay faithful. I'm out. Go make some.